The email arrived at 6:47 a.m., and Sarah Chen's hands started shaking before she finished reading the first paragraph. Subject: Formal complaint, Sarah Chen, discriminatory behavior. To Riverside and Management. I am writing to report extremely disturbing behavior by your guest relations manager, Sarah Chen, during my stay in room 418. On the evening of March 23, Ms. Chen made highly inappropriate comments about my service dog, questioned my disability status, and made me feel unwelcome and discriminated against due to my medical condition. I have documented evidence of her discriminatory statements and am prepared to file complaints with the Americans with Disabilities Act office, as well as pursue legal action. I am a disability rights advocate with significant social media following, 127,000 followers, and I will not hesitate to expose this hotel's discriminatory practices. I expect immediate termination of Ms. Chen and significant compensation for the emotional distress I experienced. Cordially, Amanda Pierce. Room 418. Sarah read it 3 times, feeling her breakfast turn to lead in her stomach. This couldn't be happening. She'd spent 6 years building her reputation as someone who treated every guest with respect and dignity. She'd never, ever made discriminatory comments about anyone's disability or service animal. But Amanda Pierce was claiming she had. And in today's world, an accusation like this, especially from someone with 127,000 social media followers, could destroy a career before anyone even checked if it was true. Her phone rang. Patricia, the general manager. My office. Now. Patricia's face was grim as Sarah sat down. The email was already pulled up on her computer screen, and beside it, Amanda Pierce's Instagram account showing her follower count and recent posts about fighting ableism in everyday spaces. Tell me exactly what happened with room 418. Sarah took a breath, forcing herself to stay calm and factual. Amanda Pierce checked in 3 days ago with a dog, a small terrier mix. She had the required service animal documentation, so we processed her check-in normally and provided her with our accessible room as requested. And you interacted with her when? Last night around 8:30 p.m. She came to the front desk, I was covering while Maya took her break, and complained that housekeeping had moved her dog's water bowl. I apologized, explained that housekeeping is instructed not to disturb service animal supplies, and offered to speak with the staff member to ensure it didn't happen again. That's it? That's the entire interaction? Yes. She seemed satisfied. She thanked me and went back to her room. The whole conversation was maybe 3 minutes. I was professional and helpful. I absolutely did not question her disability or make any inappropriate comments about her dog. Patricia drummed her fingers on the desk. She's claiming you rolled your eyes when she mentioned the dog, that you said something about so-called service animals, and that you implied she was faking her disability. She says she has a witness, another guest who was in the lobby. Sarah's blood ran cold. That's a complete lie. Patricia, you know me. I would never. I know. But here's the problem. It's your word against hers. And she's already posted on Instagram that she experienced discrimination at a hotel that shall remain unnamed for now. The post has 4,000 likes and hundreds of comments. People are demanding to know which hotel so they can avoid it. If she names us publicly and you're still employed here, we'll have a PR nightmare. So you're going to fire me? Based on false accusations? Corporate is demanding a response by end of business today. They want you suspended immediately pending investigation. And Sarah, Patricia's voice softened, they're strongly suggesting termination might be the safest option. To show we take discrimination seriously. Sarah felt the room tilt. 6 years of excellent service. Countless solved problems. A spotless record. All about to be erased because one guest decided to lie. Give me 24 hours, Sarah said. Before you suspend me. Let me investigate. Sarah, this isn't like the Whitmore case. You can't investigate a complaint about yourself. I can investigate the truth. If Amanda Pierce is lying, there will be evidence. If she has a witness, I want to know who and what they actually saw. If she's claiming I said specific things, there should be some record or contradiction. Sarah leaned forward. Patricia, you know I didn't do this. Let me prove it. Patricia was quiet for a long moment. You have until 5 p.m. today. After that, corporate makes the decision for both of us. Sarah went straight to the security office. Tom was already pulling up footage. He'd heard about the complaint through the staff grapevine. I've got last night queued up. 8:30 p.m., front desk area. They watched the footage together. There was Sarah, professional and composed, listening to Amanda Pierce explain about the water bowl. Sarah's expression showed concern and attentiveness. No eye rolling. No dismissive body language. She nodded, made notes, offered solutions. Amanda appeared satisfied, even smiled slightly before leaving. There, Sarah said. That's the entire interaction. Does that look like discrimination to you? Not even close. You look like you're doing exactly what you should be doing, listening and solving the problem. She claims there was a witness. Another guest in the lobby who heard me make inappropriate comments. Tom scrubbed through the footage. There were only 2 other people in the lobby during your conversation. An elderly gentleman reading a newspaper near the fireplace, he's at least 30 feet away, wouldn't have heard anything. And a woman checking her phone near the elevators, also too far away to hear a quiet conversation at the front desk. Sarah leaned closer to the screen. Can you get clear images of both of them? And check if they're hotel guests with registration info? Tom zoomed in and captured screenshots. The man is, let me check registration times. Gerald Hopkins, room 512. Checked in that afternoon. The woman is harder to see, but, wait. He enhanced the image. That's interesting. What? The woman near the elevators. She's not looking at her phone randomly. Look at the angle. She's recording. She's got her phone positioned to capture the front desk. Sarah's heart started racing. Recording the conversation? Looks like it. And Sarah, look at the timestamp when she arrives. Tom scrubbed backward. She enters the lobby at 8:27 p.m. 3 minutes before Amanda comes to the desk. She positions herself near the elevators, pulls out her phone, and starts recording. Then Amanda shows up exactly at 8:30. They coordinated this. Amanda came down at a specific time because she knew someone would be recording. But recording what? You didn't say anything wrong. Sarah thought hard. Pull up Amanda's check-in footage from 3 days ago. I want to see her arrival. Tom switched to the earlier footage. Amanda Pierce entering the hotel, small dog on a leash, pulling a suitcase. She approached the front desk where Maya processed her check-in. Standard procedure, Maya asked for ID, credit card, and service animal documentation. Zoom in on the dog, Sarah said. Tom enhanced the image. The terrier was well-groomed, wearing a vest that said service animal. But something was off. The dog was pulling at the leash, sniffing everything, jumping up on the front desk, clearly excited and unfocused. That doesn't look like a trained service dog, Tom observed. No, it doesn't. Sarah had seen real service dogs. They were calm, focused, obedient. This dog looked like a regular pet wearing a vest purchased online. Check footage from the past 3 days. I want to see how that dog behaves throughout the hotel. Tom compiled clips from multiple cameras over the 72 hours Amanda had been at the hotel. The pattern was clear. The dog barked at other guests. Pulled on the leash. Jumped on furniture in the lobby. Urinated in the hallway outside room 418, which housekeeping had to clean up. None of these were behaviors of a legitimate service animal. She's got a fake service dog, Sarah said slowly. And somehow, she's trying to bait hotel staff into questioning it so she can claim discrimination. But you didn't question it. You were completely professional. Exactly. So how is she claiming I said things I didn't say? Sarah pulled out her phone and searched Amanda Pierce's social media accounts. Instagram showed the disability advocacy posts Patricia had mentioned. But when Sarah dug deeper into older posts, she found something interesting. 6 months ago, hotels need to understand ADA laws. Just because you think you know what a service dog should look like doesn't mean you can discriminate. 4 months ago, another hotel tried to question my service dog. They learned their lesson when my lawyer got involved. Know your rights. 2 months ago, hotels will do anything to avoid bad PR. Use that to your advantage when fighting discrimination. And then, most damning, a post from 1 month ago that had been deleted but was still cached in Google's search results. PSA: if you need a cheap vacation, just claim disability discrimination. Hotels settle fast to avoid lawsuits. Works every time. Sarah screenshotted everything. Amanda Pierce wasn't a disability rights advocate. She was a scam artist who faked service dog status and baited hotels into situations where she could claim discrimination, then extracted settlements. But Sarah still had a problem. Amanda claimed there was a witness who heard discriminatory comments. And Sarah needed to prove those comments never happened. Tom, can you identify the woman who was recording? Check if she's a registered guest. Tom ran facial recognition against the guest database. No match. She's not staying here. But he pulled up exterior camera footage from that evening. She arrived at 8:24 p.m., entered the lobby at 8:27, recorded your interaction, then left the building at 8:35. She was only here for 11 minutes. Just long enough to record Amanda's staged complaint. Sarah felt anger building. This is coordinated fraud. Amanda fakes a service dog, comes down to complain about something minor, her friend records the interaction, then Amanda claims the recording shows discrimination even though it doesn't. So where's the recording? If it shows you being professional, why would she claim it shows discrimination? Sarah thought about that. Because she's going to edit it. Or claim it shows things that aren't actually there. Or. She stopped. Tom, audio. Can our security system pick up audio from the front desk? The cameras have audio capability, but we keep it disabled for privacy reasons. We only activate it if there's a specific security incident. What about Amanda's recording? If she recorded the interaction and it clearly shows I didn't say anything inappropriate, she can't use it to support her complaint. Unless she doesn't plan to share it. She just needs to claim it exists. Make the threat. Get the hotel to settle before anyone actually reviews evidence. Sarah pulled out her phone and did something risky. She called Amanda Pierce's room directly. Yes? Amanda's voice was cool, professional. Ms. Pierce, this is Sarah Chen. I understand you filed a complaint about our interaction last night. I'd like to discuss this with you directly and see if we can resolve any misunderstanding. There's no misunderstanding. You discriminated against me. I have a witness and video evidence. I'd be very interested in seeing that video evidence. In fact, I think it would be helpful for corporate to review it as part of their investigation. Could you provide a copy? A pause. My lawyer has advised me not to share evidence with the hotel until we're in formal proceedings. I see. And this witness, would they be willing to provide a statement about what they heard? Another pause, longer this time. That's also being handled through my lawyer. Ms. Pierce, I want to be very clear. I did not make discriminatory comments. I did not question your disability. I did not say anything inappropriate about your service animal. If you have video evidence of our conversation, it will show exactly that. Are you calling me a liar? I'm saying that if we review actual evidence, video footage, witness statements, security recordings, the truth will be very clear. And if someone has made false accusations, there are legal consequences for that as well. The line went dead. Amanda had hung up. Tom looked at Sarah with concern. That was risky. If she posts about that call, let her. I'm done being defensive. I'm going on offense. Sarah pulled up her evidence folder, the security footage, the dog behavior clips, Amanda's social media history, the pattern of previous discrimination claims. This woman is committing fraud. She's weaponizing disability rights laws to extort hotels. And I'm going to prove it. Her phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number: "Back off or I'll destroy you. You don't know who you're dealing with." Sarah screenshot the text and added it to her evidence folder. Threats were just more proof that Amanda was desperate to avoid actual investigation. She had until 5 p.m. to save her career. Time to fight back. At 2:47 p.m., Sarah sat in Patricia's office with a comprehensive evidence package that had taken 6 hours to compile. Patricia reviewed each item carefully while Sarah explained her findings. Amanda Pierce has filed similar discrimination complaints at 5 hotels in the past 18 months. Each time, she claimed staff questioned her service dog or made inappropriate comments about her disability. Each time, she threatened lawsuits and social media exposure. And each time, the hotel settled quickly, amounts ranging from $3,000 to $8,000. Patricia looked up sharply. "How did you find this?" "Public records. Court filings. Social media archives. Online reviews where she mentioned winning settlements from hotels. She's not a disability rights advocate, she's running a scam." Sarah pulled up the cached social media post. This was deleted, but it's still accessible. She literally posted advice about using fake discrimination claims to get free vacations. And the dog? Not a legitimate service animal. "I have 72 hours of footage showing behavior that no trained service dog would exhibit. Barking, jumping, pulling, urinating in the hallway. Real service dogs are trained to be calm and focused. This is a pet wearing a vest she bought online." Patricia studied the footage. "But we can't legally question whether someone's service animal is legitimate. ADA regulations allow us to ask 2 questions. Is the animal required because of a disability, and what tasks is the animal trained to perform?" We asked those during check-in. She provided documentation, which we now know is fraudulent. But here's the key issue: she's not claiming we questioned her dog's legitimacy. She's claiming I made discriminatory comments that I absolutely didn't make. She says she has a witness and video evidence. The witness was a woman who entered the building 3 minutes before Amanda came to the front desk, recorded our interaction, then left immediately after. She's not a hotel guest. She was only in the building for 11 minutes. This was coordinated. Sarah showed the timeline. And the video they recorded? It will show exactly what our security footage shows, me being completely professional. That's why Amanda won't share it. She's bluffing. Patricia leaned back in her chair. "This is comprehensive. But Sarah, even if you're right about everything, we still have a problem. She has 127,000 social media followers and is threatening to name the hotel publicly. Corporate is terrified of the PR damage. Then let her name us. Because I have something she doesn't expect." Sarah pulled out her final piece of evidence. "I contacted the 5 other hotels where she filed complaints. 3 of them settled and made her sign NDAs. But 2 of them kept detailed records because they suspected fraud but couldn't prove it. They've agreed to provide statements and documentation to support a counterclaim." Counterclaim? Amanda Pierce has committed fraud, filed false complaints, extorted settlements, and made criminal threats. I have the text she sent this morning telling me to back off. If she wants to go public, we can go public too. With evidence. With patterns. With proof that she's been running this scam across multiple states." Patricia was quiet for a long moment. "You want to fight back? Publicly? I want to expose a fraud who's been exploiting legitimate disability rights to steal money and destroy careers. How many hotel employees have been fired because of her lies? How many people were too scared to fight back?" Sarah's voice hardened. She picked the wrong target this time. "I'm not settling. I'm not backing down. And I'm not letting her destroy my career with lies." corporate will never approve. Then I'll do it independently. I'll provide my evidence to disability rights organizations, show them how Amanda is undermining real advocacy. I'll contact the media. Patricia held up a hand. Wait. Let me make a call. She dialed a number, put it on speaker. A man's voice answered. Legal Department, James Morrison. James, it's Patricia at Riverside Inn. I'm here with Sarah Chen regarding the Amanda Pierce complaint. Before we make any decisions, I need you to hear what Sarah's uncovered. Sarah presented everything: the pattern of complaints, the fake service dog evidence, the coordinated recording setup, the social media posts, the threatening text message, the statements from other hotels. James Morrison was silent for a long time after she finished. Then, this is fraud. Clear, documented fraud. And if we settle, we're enabling her to continue victimizing other hotels and undermining legitimate disability rights claims. Exactly, Sarah said. But going public is risky. If we're wrong about any of this, we're not wrong. I have video evidence, social media archives, witness accounts, documentation from multiple sources. This isn't speculation. This is proof. Another pause. Give me 30 minutes to brief corporate. Don't respond to Amanda Pierce or her lawyer until you hear from me. The line went dead. At 3:47 p.m., Sarah's phone rang. Unknown number. She answered carefully. This is Sarah Chen. Ms. Chen, this is Robert Martinez with the Department of Justice, Disability Rights Section. We've been investigating Amanda Pierce for 6 months following complaints from legitimate disability advocacy groups. They suspected she was using fake service dog documentation and filing fraudulent discrimination claims. We heard you might have evidence relevant to our investigation. Sarah's heart raced. Who told you that? Your corporate legal department contacted us 20 minutes ago. They thought we should coordinate. Can you share what you've found? Sarah spent the next hour on the phone with Agent Martinez, walking through every piece of evidence. He listened carefully, asked detailed questions, and finally said, Ms. Chen, this is exactly the pattern we've been tracking. Amanda Pierce, real name Amy Patterson, has filed similar complaints in 8 states. We estimate she's collected over $60,000 in fraudulent settlements. But hotels always settled quietly, so we never had enough evidence for criminal charges. Until now? Until now. Your documentation is thorough and compelling. Combined with what we already have, we can build a case. But I need to ask you something. Are you willing to testify if this goes to court? Because Amanda, Amy, will claim you're retaliating against a disabled person. Her lawyers will attack you personally. Sarah thought about the 6 years she'd spent building her career. About the other hotel employees who'd been fired because of Amy's lies. About the real people with disabilities whose legitimate complaints might be doubted because of scammers like this. Yes, she said firmly. I'll testify. At 4:32 p.m., Amanda Pierce called the front desk demanding to speak with management. Sarah took the call, Patricia listening on speaker. I'm prepared to accept your settlement offer, Amanda said. I think $10,000 and a written apology would be appropriate compensation for the discrimination I experienced. Sarah took a deep breath. Ms. Pierce, or should I say Ms. Patterson, we're not offering a settlement. Silence on the other end. Then, what did you just call me? Amy Patterson. Your legal name. The name associated with 8 similar discrimination complaints filed across multiple states in the past 2 years. The name on the fraudulent service dog documentation you've been using. I don't know what you're talking about. You filed a false complaint claiming I made discriminatory statements. You coordinated with an accomplice to record our interaction, hoping to manufacture evidence that doesn't exist. You've been using fake service dog credentials and exploiting disability rights laws to extort settlements from hotels. And as of this afternoon, the Department of Justice Disability Rights Section is investigating you for federal fraud. The phone went so quiet Sarah wondered if the call had dropped. Then, in a completely different tone, harder, colder, "You can't prove any of that. I have security footage of your fake service dog's behavior. I have video of your accomplice arriving specifically to record our staged interaction. I have archived social media posts where you literally described this scam. I have statements from 5 other hotels where you ran the same operation. I have the threatening text message you sent me this morning. And I have federal investigators who are very interested in all of it. If you pursue this, I'll destroy you on social media. I'll post your name, your photo, claim you're targeting disabled people. Go ahead. Because I'll post my evidence immediately after. Every screenshot. Every video. Every receipt. And I'll let legitimate disability advocacy groups, who've already been contacted about your fraudulent claims, explain to your 127,000 followers how you've been undermining real disability rights for profit." Patricia jumped in. "Ms. Patterson, here's what's going to happen. You're going to check out of this hotel within the hour. You're going to withdraw your complaint in writing. You're going to delete any social media posts referencing this hotel. And you're going to cooperate with the federal investigation. If you do all of that, we won't pursue civil charges for fraud, defamation, and attempted extortion. And if I don't? Then we prosecute everything. We contact every hotel you've scammed. We provide evidence to law enforcement in multiple states. We make sure every person who was fired because of your lies knows your real name and what you did. Your choice." Another long silence. "I want immunity from prosecution." "That's between you and the DOJ, Sarah said. "But your scam ends today. No more fake service dogs. No more false complaints. No more destroyed careers. It's over." At 5:15 p.m., Amy Patterson checked out of room 418. No drama, no threats, just a quiet exit with her pet terrier and her luggage. Sarah watched from her office as the woman who'd tried to destroy her career disappeared into the parking lot. Tom appeared in her doorway. Security footage shows she packed up in 14 minutes flat. Fastest checkout I've ever seen. Fear is a powerful motivator. Patricia came in next, looking relieved and impressed. "Corporate just called. They're implementing new protocols for handling discrimination complaints, evidence collection, investigation requirements, coordination with advocacy groups to identify fraudulent claims. They want you to help design the system." "Good. Real disability rights complaints deserve thorough, respectful investigation. Fake complaints deserve exposure. Sarah, you could have been fired this morning. You could have lost everything. How did you stay so calm?" "I wasn't calm. I was terrified. But I knew the truth, and I knew if I could prove it, the truth would win." Sarah smiled slightly. "Also, I was really angry. Someone tried to weaponize disability rights laws that protect vulnerable people, to commit fraud and destroy my career. That's unforgivable." Her phone buzzed. "An email from Agent Martinez. Amy Patterson has agreed to cooperate with our investigation in exchange for reduced charges. She's providing information about an organized network of people running similar scams at hotels nationwide. Your evidence broke this case open. Thank you for fighting back." Patricia read over Sarah's shoulder. A network? This was bigger than one person? Apparently. And if I'd just let them fire me to make it go away, they'd still be operating. Sarah forwarded the email to corporate. Sometimes the hardest thing and the right thing are the same thing. 3 weeks later, Sarah received a letter from the National Disability Rights Advocacy Network. "Dear Ms. Chen, we wanted to thank you for your investigation into Amy Patterson's fraudulent activities. As an organization dedicated to protecting the rights of people with disabilities, we are deeply troubled by individuals who exploit these protections for personal gain. Ms. Patterson's actions have made it harder for people with legitimate service animals to be taken seriously. Her fake complaints have made hotels more skeptical of real discrimination claims. She has undermined years of advocacy work. Your thorough investigation and willingness to fight back, while simultaneously respecting legitimate disability rights, exemplifies the kind of approach we hope more businesses will adopt. You didn't dismiss disability concerns. You investigated them properly and exposed fraud when you found it. Thank you for protecting both your employees and the integrity of disability rights. Sincerely, Maria Rodriguez, Executive Director. Sarah pinned the letter next to the one from Luz Hernandez, the housekeeper she'd helped in the Eleanor Whitmore case. 2 letters. 2 victories. 2 times she'd refused to let lies destroy innocent people. Rosa stopped by her office that afternoon. I heard what happened. With the fake service dog lady. Everyone's talking about how you proved she was lying. I just collected evidence and told the truth. You saved yourself. Like you saved me. Rosa smiled. You know what the housekeeping staff calls you? La Defensora. The defender. Because you defend us when no one else will. Sarah felt tears prick her eyes. You all work so hard. You deserve someone who'll fight for you. And you deserve people who'll fight for you too. Rosa handed her a card signed by the entire housekeeping staff. Inside was a simple message: thank you for never giving up on the truth. You are our hero. 6 months later, the DOJ investigation resulted in 12 arrests connected to the fake service dog complaint network. Amy Patterson received probation and community service in exchange for her cooperation. The network had scammed an estimated $400,000 from hotels across 23 states. More importantly, 7 hotel employees who'd been fired due to fraudulent complaints were reinstated with back pay and cleared records. Sarah was promoted to Regional Director of Guest Relations and Employee Protection, a new position created specifically to investigate discrimination complaints, protect employees from false accusations, and ensure legitimate disability rights were properly honored. Her first initiative, a training program teaching hotel managers how to distinguish between genuine discrimination complaints and fraudulent scams, how to collect evidence properly, and how to protect both guests' rights and employees' livelihoods. She called it the Truth First Protocol. Because in a world where accusations could destroy careers before anyone checked the facts, someone needed to stand up for truth. Someone needed to defend the innocent. Someone needed to say not this time when liars tried to exploit important protections for personal gain. Sarah Chen had learned that fighting back was hard. It was risky. It was scary. But letting lies win was worse. And sometimes, one person refusing to back down could stop a scam that had victimized dozens of people. Amanda Pierce, Amy Patterson, had chosen the wrong target. She'd expected another hotel to fold, another employee to be sacrificed, another easy payday. Instead, she found someone who valued truth more than convenience. Someone who protected the powerless instead of appeasing the manipulative. Someone who understood that real disability rights deserved respect, which meant fake disability claims deserved exposure. The guest wasn't always right. Sometimes, the guest was a criminal. And sometimes, the employee they tried to destroy was the one who brought them to justice.